Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. And coming up today, we're headed to Chicagoland. And this will probably be our last race before we get to the playoffs. So I thought, what better place than a mile and a half, because they usually give us the best racing, the closest racing, and ultimately that leads to a lot of fun. And that seems to be especially true given what we saw at Kansas in a recent video. So Chicagoland, mile and a half, should be a lot of fun. Chicagoland is very much a wide open type of racetrack. I'm hoping for some very close racing, and we'll, as always, mix things up, whether it's starting in the back, playing around with the setup, maybe swapping up our pit strategy a little bit. A lot of different things we can do to bring some fun into this race. But before we get there, let's hop over to the season standings. And there are a couple of things I want to show you guys that are making the playoff rush very interesting, especially from the point of view of a few drivers that you would normally expect to be in the hunt for those top 16 slots. So if we start off with the point standings, nothing looks unusual here. Hamlin, Busch, Harvick, and Truex at the top. That's certainly not anything that would surprise you as far as the point standings. However, if I swap things over to the playoff grid, of course, we're sitting here in 6th position, 8th in the traditional points, but 6th in the playoff grid. So we're looking perfectly fine for the beginning of the playoffs. Of course, you'd always like to have as many wins as you can get, but we're locked in, no problems there. And at the very top, once again, you see these familiar names: Harvick, Busch, Hamlin, and Truex. No surprise to any of those, but if I start to scroll down a little bit, number one, wouldn't expect to see Chase Elliott this far down on the grid. Look how many more points we have than Chase Elliott, and certainly would not expect to see that. But then, as I continue to go, Alex Bowman, no surprise there. But then we get to 3 surprises in a row. Daniel Suarez with a victory. Corey LaJoie with a victory. Brendan Gaughan also with a victory. And look how few points LaJoie and Gaughan have. So these are 3 guys that are taking 3 spots in the playoffs away from strong contenders who would normally expect to be there. So if we take a look at the right-hand side of the screen, who needs wins to get in? Well, Eric Almirola, we would certainly expect to see him in the playoffs. What about Tyler Reddick? He's been strong. But then if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, who needs points to get in? Ryan Blaney. Definitely would expect to see Ryan Blaney as a strong contender in the playoffs. What about Ryan Newman? What about Clint Boyer and Matty D? These are all cars that we would expect under normal situation to be in the playoffs, or at least strong contenders. Poor Matty D is just not looking good on the points. 50 points is a lot to make up, but the good news is he's got several races to do it. But these are 3 guys that are really throwing a monkey wrench into the playoff standing. So a lot's going to happen between now and the end of the regular season, and I'm very interested to see exactly how this is going to turn out. But if we come back to our current event, Chicagoland, 67 laps, and hopefully we'll have as much fun here as we did at Kansas. All right, folks, it is race time here at Chicago, and we'll be starting in the 13th position. Yes, I decided to do qualifying, which is a bit odd here lately, given that we've been starting in the rear, but I decided to do it because I made a few changes to the setup I posted here on the channel, which I generally call my default setup, just to keep things interesting. Make a few changes, see how it works out in the race. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But we'll be starting in the 13th spot, or at least, yeah, there you go. I was wondering, some of those guys that failed apparently tech inspection, at least one of those was starting in front of us. So we'll pick up a spot here starting on the outside in 12th position. Let's see what kind of speed we got. Do we have enough speed to keep up and run around that top 10?
Careful, still there.
Maybe we do, maybe we don't.
Got one peeking inside.
All right, so for the first few laps, we definitely
Stay high up here.
we're going to see if things will.
Stay high, stay high. Hold your line, got one inside.
All right, yeah, you can see there's 3 and I think maybe 4 wide up there somewhere. So we're going to let things thin out maybe a little bit here.
Stay high, stay high.
And we're just going to try to not get involved. As I've mentioned many, many times, The AI are very fun in this game, but you get too many of them together and they start to freak out. So
Inside.
I'm not in any particular hurry
Clear all around.
to jump in the middle of
Got
about
one
a
peeking
4-wide situation that turns bad in a hurry. So right now, just going to try to mind my own
Careful.
business.
Still there.
Maybe make up
Car
some
outside.
spots if it's available. And try to hold back and not overdo it.
Still there.
Oh,
Got a
yeah.
car high now.
Yeah, we are
Hold your line there. 3 wide.
definitely a little tight
All
on the
right,
entry
clear low.
there. Tight
Car
and
outside.
a little bit unstable, which is not a good combination.
Stay low,
If
stay
you're going
low.
to be tight, at least be stable tight. So you can hear me, I'm out of gas quite a bit on entry. This place has a ton of grip.
Stay on the bottom here.
All right, you can see these guys hooking that bottom pretty tight.
Car outside. You got room. You're clear there.
Yeah, this is sort of like the tail wagging the dog a little bit right now with this car.
Still
And
there.
that is usually something that you get with low wedge.
All right, you're clear.
And that's exactly what we have. A little bit lower wedge than...
That was a great lap.
no, it was not a great lap. He thinks it was. And the draft has certainly helped our cause a little bit, but it was not a great lap. This car is not turning the way I want it to turn. Fortunately for us, though, we're doing okay. The AI are not running away from us. They're
You're
starting
all
to
clear
spread
up
out
there.
some.
Got one outside now.
All right, and one thing for sure, Kyle Busch is not coming off that bottom.
That was a great lap.
Look at that. I mean, even on the straightaway, he is
Careful,
hugging
still there.
that bottom. You're going to have to pass him somewhere else right now. Maybe he'll change that
Stay
a little
low,
bit
stay
once he
low.
gets past his teammate there. But he was going nowhere other than the bottom.
Careful. Still there.
Maybe he knew that was going to be my plan. And so that's how he was planning to keep me
Careful.
behind
Still
him.
there. Still there.
Ouch. Somebody gave us a little love tap there.
Car outside. Clear all around.
Trying to clear the 11. He is running a tight line
Got a
against
car
us, making
high
that
now.
very
You got
difficult to
room.
do.
You're clear there.
All right, let's see what we can do now. So we're clear in 8th position, so in the back half of the top 10. Of course, you can definitely be more aggressive with the throttle when you're in clear track as opposed to in traffic. So we've got 19 laps here in stage number 1. And we're about halfway through that, coming up on halfway. This will be a great opportunity to tell us what our car is doing both in traffic as well as in clean air. Because we definitely had some traffic for the first several laps. But now that we're in clean air, we'll see. Do we have enough speed to run these guys down? Doesn't look like it overall. Maybe very slowly. We might be a touch faster than them, but we are definitely not blowing by anybody
All
right now.
10 to go. Keep it nice and smooth for us.
So right now I would characterize what we have as just a little bit too tight overall. It's not terrible by any stretch, but just a little bit too tight to be able to use as much throttle and be quite as aggressive as I believe you can be here at this track. Just can't quite get the car to set and rotate on entry the way I need to. Not without getting out of the gas more anyway. So you can see we have caught Truex. We'll see if we can do anything with him. He seems to enjoy that bottom now that we've gotten to him. Let's see if that continues. We got 8 more laps, so we got time to get around him if we've got the speed, and we can get. All right, we got a really good run compared to him through 1 and 2, and I didn't even feel like I got through there all that well.
Stay on the bottom here. Top's free. Use it if you need it.
Oh, I like it when he says top's free, but I didn't know how long that was going to last. So I chose not to use that real estate he told me I had.
Car high, careful. Got one peeking outside.
All right, so now this is what you deal with so often on really any track, but particularly the mile and a half.
You're clear there.
Is how do you clear a guy on the bottom side?
Got one up top.
All right, yeah, Ryan Newman coming up on top. Tried to drive it in a little deeper, and that is going to. Yep, that's going to end up costing us a spot, probably 2 here. I was going to see if I couldn't clear him on corner entry, but yeah, that didn't work out exactly as planned. All right, so here we go, back to 9th position. 5 more laps. Let's see if we can work our way back by Truex. See if he's going to give me anything on the bottom. He is not really. Car took a really nice set there in 3 and 4. Still a little bit unstable. Not terrible. Obviously, I'm not worried about wrecking, but it is a little bit unstable from the standpoint of it's scrubbing off speed, and that's simply from the crossweight. The car is simply over-rotating a little bit in the crossweight due to the crossweight. And of course, that's always, as always, everything affects everything on the car. So when I talk about low crossweight, I'm talking about based on the other settings that I'm using in the car.
Outside.
And those of you who follow my setups will know exactly what those settings are. Hate when I do that. Get down a little bit too low, catch the apron. Still wasn't a terrible run through there because apparently he did not have a good corner either.
Flag. Next time by.
All right, here we go. Final lap to try to do something with Truex.
Still there.
And I'm sure we're going to be coming into pit. So what did I do? I hit the apron again on entry. My goodness. And that's going to be all Truex is going to need in order to keep that momentum on the high side. Oh, my bad. I thought that was it. I could have sworn he told me white flag last time. Apparently I need to get my hearing checked. All right, try to get underneath him there. Not going to quite work out. All right, we got a nice run through the corner. Not going to quite be enough, though. As you can see, the lap traffic starting to become an issue. So again, in the 3rd stage, that is exactly what we're going to find. So 9th place, not bad at all. We'll take that. All right, tire wear actually looks really good. Everybody's pitting. Let's go ahead and pit with them. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of pressure to the rear. I don't want to reduce that wedge anymore. Let's go ahead and pit and advance on. So the car is fairly balanced as far as the tire wear goes. It's definitely not bad at all. But just a little bit too tight to get me the speed that I want. So remember, balanced is not the same thing as max speed. All right, so restarting in the 8th position. All right, not bad. And once again, we'll see what happens the first few laps after this restart, because these guys, I'm sure, are going to be all over the place.
Careful, still there. Inside.
Got sort of shoved up out of the way there. I didn't fight it too hard because I really don't want any contact.
Careful, still there.
But of course, these guys are going to abuse that and take full advantage
You got room. You're clear.
of me being nice, so we're going to have to just try to take that back.
Careful, still there.
Oh, the car took a very nice set there on corner entry. We had a terrible angle at it, but I was able to get out of the gas enough to allow the car to rotate and really gas it up.
All right, you're clear.
Coming through the corner, that felt really nice. If we could get that every corner, then we're going to make up some spots.
Careful, still there.
So adding a little bit of pressure to the right rear,
you're clear there.
that's going to help the car to rotate, particularly from the center of the corner off. And we'll see how it does long term. I'm probably going to pit. Right now I'm thinking I'm going to pit again after the end of this second stage. I don't think the AI will pit, so that's going to mean we're going to have a chance to pass a lot of cars. So let's see what Logano is going to be doing. I'm out of the gas too much on the entry to turn 1. I need to be in the gas a lot more than I am, but that's what I have to do in order to get this thing to rotate exactly the way I need it to. Yeah, just needs a little work. A few more tweaks here and there. Oh yeah, Kevin Harvick making it really hard on me.
Got one outside now.
He did exactly what he needed to do to put me in the worst possible spot. And I did it again. I hit that apron. One of these days I'll learn. Apparently today is not that day. All right, so we'll back up and we'll try it again. All right, so as I go on the entry of turn 1, if you listen close, you'll probably hear me playing around with the throttle some more, just trying to see what I can get by with and some different techniques that might enable me to get a better run, better speed on the entry.
10 to go.
I can get the car to rotate, but I have to slow it down more than I would prefer. Like that. That's out of the gas more than I would prefer. So I'm trying some different things to see if I can't get a better run. Now that was a really good run through 3 and 4. Unfortunately, I don't have anywhere to go right now. Oh, right there you can see I got it to the bottom. I could stick. The 4 car could not. He slid up the racetrack, which is something I'm very familiar with. Do not clip the apron down here in 3 and 4. All right, let's see if we can eventually clear him. He's going to have a lot of speed on the straightaway.
You're all clear up top there.
There we go. Not bad. That's a pretty good run through 1 and 2, considering the angle we had on entry. So we've cleared Harvick, 7th position. Let's see what we can do here with Logano. Can't quite get to the bottom like I need to on entry there, again, without coming out of the gas a lot more than I want. I feel like there's enough grip that I should be able to be in the gas a lot more than I am. But it's just not working out. And having to chase the rear end coming off the corner when I overdrive it, so none of that is good. And you can definitely see, looking out the windshield, that's not doing us any favors on getting closer to passing Logano. But these are the things you have to do when you're finding out what the car's got. What can you do with the car? What can't you do with the car? If you don't test it, you'll never know. But 7th position, not bad at all. Could not get it down to the bottom. Drove it in too deep to get down there.
Five to go, driver.
All right, 5 more laps. Let's see if we can't get by Logano. Trying to draft him as much as I can on the straightaway. He's got a lot of speed on the straight. I definitely do not want to go quite that high on the straightaway. All right, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're catching him. But you can see on the straightaway, he's able to, by running that higher line, he was able to get a lot of momentum. Let the car drift out to the wall. Try to keep all the speed I can. I tried to arc it in there a little bit more that time. Oh, I see somebody smoking up here. That's generally not a good sign.
Pitting car just ahead.
Oh, look out. Okay, we almost ran over Logano right there. Let's try to get...
outside.
Wow. Well, that was fun.
2 to go.
So, needless to say, the pitting car behavior could use a little work. Right there, that wasn't about making up spots. That was about trying not to hit anybody.
On the inside.
So now, unfortunately, the 4 car has got a nice run on us.
All right, you're clear.
Apparently, he didn't have any issues. Oh, and I blew that corner.
Inside.
Drove it in way too hard to get anywhere close to the bottom, so that's going to leave it wide open for Harvick.
Still there.
Now, the AI cars do not
Flag is in the
suffer
air.
from a bad entry into the corner. So he can run that bottom just like it's Talladega all day long and keep all the speed he wants. That's the benefit of being the AI. You don't have to worry about physics. They can also run that high line much better than I can up there. Much better. But overall, hard to complain about an 8th place run here in the 2nd stage. So 1 spot better than we did in the 1st stage. So what do we got? 28 laps. Again, the car is pretty well balanced. No surprise there. But yeah, let's go ahead and pit. Why not? Let's go ahead and have some more fun. And I'm going to put another pound in the right rear. Still do not want to mess with that wedge. I don't want to reduce it anymore. All right, so we're going to be starting 33rd position. Not that many cars a lap down, simply because the stages are not all that long. So now let's see what we can do. Starting basically in the rear.
Careful, still there.
But we got some fresh tires. And what can we do with them?
Still there. You got room, you're clear.
Almost got down on the apron right there. I almost did it.
Still there.
All right, let's pull down to the inside and see if we can't pass a few cars really
Stay on the
quickly.
bottom.
Do not get on the apron. Do not.
Car outside.
62 has no speed in it. No surprise. All right, we could go down to the flat, but I do not want to. Thank you very much, 47, for blocking down there. I really appreciate that. Oh, good gracious. Not only was he blocking, he was extremely slow. A little love tap just for good measure there.
Clear all around. You got room. You're clear. All clear.
All right, I like it when we can pass them in bunches.
You got room. You're clear there.
You know, past 2 or 3 cars. Let's go through the middle here. Right through the middle. Let's do a little 3-way.
You got room. You're clear.
All right, not too bad. Minimal contact other than the 47. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, there you go, 73. Yeah. God, that is so slow through the middle of the corner. Anytime I have to come completely out of the gas like that,
all right, you're clear.
It is just no good at all. All right, and these guys, all right, guys, I need you to go on. Somebody go on.
Still there?
I don't care which one of you it is, but somebody's got to go. Feels like Bristol here when you come up on lap traffic and you're just wanting somebody to go.
All right, you're clear there.
All right, Kurt Busch clearly not having a fun day. He's back toward mid-pack.
All right, clear low. Careful, still there.
Remember, if we basically get right back into the top 10, somewhere around 8th or 9th, then we will have broken even. But even more than that, look at all the fun we're going to have coming through the field.
Careful, still there. All right, clear outside.
That apron is so tempting there.
Car outside.
Not sure why I find the apron so tempting, because it does nothing good for me.
Clear all around.
Not at this track. All right, so 12th position, so we're not far. And we got plenty of time to make it happen. 19 laps is a long time. In fact, that's a full stage. So we have a full stage remaining, and we're not far from where we started the race.
Still there?
Don't do it. Oh, he did it.
Stay low, stay low. All right, clear outside.
Yep, I was really hoping he was going to stay a groove up and give me enough room, but he did not. Our teammate was really wanting to keep that position, and I can't say as I blame him. All right, 9th position, and who do we see in front of us? But Truex. So we've got some familiar cars just in front of us and alongside of us. These are the guys we expected to see. All right, so at this point, we're back to where we were. We're racing with the cars we were racing before that caution. And we're definitely closing in on these guys in front. Now, at some point, very soon, it's going to equalize out with these tires. With, especially with the AI, with the way they traditionally run. We just don't know when that point is going to be just yet. I'm hoping to make up as many spots as humanly possible before that happens.
Stay on the bottom. All right, you're clear.
All right, so we'll slide by Logano, and 6th position is ours. So now I see another teammate up in front, so we're going to try to see what we can do about catching him. All right, so now we've got a little bit of clean track. We can just concentrate on running laps, see what the car will give us. That was a very good entry to turn 3 and 4 for me. So for those of you who've been following the channel for a while, you'll know I talk a lot about how I prefer to drive the car with the throttle more than anything. Now that becomes an interesting proposition at a really fast track where you're in the throttle most of the lap. But I like to use the throttle to turn the car. That's the way I prefer to drive the car. I don't use a lot of brake.
Careful, still there.
Particularly at a place like this. I don't think I've touched the brake the entire race.
Still there. Outside. All right,
So I just prefer to modulate the throttle back and forth to get the car to do what I need it to do, to rotate. Or if the car is getting too loose, to try to tighten it up using the throttle. So much you can do with that pedal. And that's just the way I'm used to driving the car. So my setups definitely fit that style. There's a certain feel I'm looking for out of the car in order to make that work. And for me, it's generally a stiffer feel in this game. Now, if we're talking about iRacing, you're talking about a whole different ball game. But in this game, I prefer a much stiffer feel. Bigger sway bar, bigger springs, that kind of thing. Doesn't mean that a softer setup can't work or won't work. Of course it doesn't mean that. It will absolutely work. It's just not the feel I prefer from the car. And in the meantime, we have made it up to the top 5. And if Kyle Busch will stay on the high side for just a little while longer, we should be able to pick up this spot. Oh, can I clear him? Not quite. Really wanted to slide up in front of him there.
10 to go.
Because otherwise, I knew that was going to happen. All right, not a terrible corner.
Car high,
Not a great
careful.
one either. But if we can stay pretty even with him, don't get on the apron. Don't get on the
You're all
apron.
clear up top there. Got one peeking outside.
All right, there we go. We got him that time, just barely. I'm not even sure I would have called that clear. Oh, we got a mess in front of us. We're 3 wide. Now the question is, of this mess in front of us, how many of these are lead lap cars? Are there any lead lap
Still
cars?
there.
Frankly. And again, I can pull up the leaderboard, but I'm not going to be doing that.
All clear. Got a car
Oh,
high now.
woo, that was
You got
close.
room. You're clear.
That is not the way I wanted that to go down. Okay, so they were all lap traffic. Well, I was really hoping at least one car in that mess there would have been for position, because I would really like to get a podium out of this. And as spread out as things are at this point, we're running out of time to make that happen. So now it really means I greatly need this car immediately in front of us, that 10 car. I need him to be for position. I'm thinking surely he is, based on the other cars that were around, plus the speed he's got. I mean, we're catching him, but not all that quickly. I mean, it's not like we're blowing by this guy. Oh, that was awful. He got hung behind the 66, and I had to get... Well, we almost wrecked right there. That's what almost happened. 21 car is not having a good day at all.
Clear low there. You got room. You're clear.
All right, so we'll try to catch him again. We had the 10 car, but yeah, that with the lap traffic did not go well. Oh, he did it. That was terrible. I am not doing good with this lap traffic at all.
5 to go. You got this.
Had to get completely out of the
Careful,
gas
still
right there.
there.
Not taking advantage of any of the opportunities
room,
I've
you're
been
clear
given
there.
by the lap traffic. Instead, I have chosen to mess them up completely. All right, so we'll refocus once again. Don't get on that apron. And try to run him down. Can we run down that 10 car? Because I believe that's for third. And he has got some traffic in front of him. Oh, the 3 car is going to mess with him. Again, this isn't the kind of stuff you generally have to deal with in real life, but it does happen sometimes. And that's generally when they start playing audio on TV. That is very unfriendly. That's generally how that goes down. Like right there.
Stay low, stay low.
The 34 car would not want to do that in real life because he would be told by his spotter that there's more lead lap traffic coming. So he would be looking for ways to stay out of the way. Oh, that was a very good entry. It'd be helpful if the 10 would get messed up on exits. I really didn't have any issues there with LaJoy.
White flag.
He had to alter his line a little bit, but we've already talked in detail before about how that really doesn't matter to the AI. All right, another opportunity because there's definitely lap traffic immediately ahead. And they're blocking the track for the 10, so it would be helpful if he could not get by those guys just yet. All right, there we go. There's one opportunity. All right, last lap.
Careful, still there. Got a car coming inside.
I'm going to sail it in there. Oh, he got by him on the bottom. And now I'm going to be stuck right between them.
Clear all around. Car outside.
Oh, I really needed him to get stuck there.
All right, you're clear.
Once again, that was a good turns 3 and 4, but it's not going to be enough. So as we finish up today's race, that was a lot of fun.
That's incredible.
And we ended up in 4th position. So this pitting after both the first and the second stages, I like it. I like it quite a bit. We get to pass a ton of cars and have some great battles along the way as we did in the first couple of stages. Couldn't quite get close enough to the 10 to have a battle with him there at the end of the race, but I will certainly take that. All right, race results. Oh, Brad K gets his first victory of the season. Ryan Newman, great finish for him. And then, of course, Eric Amarola right in front of us. So that was fun. That's the reason why I enjoy doing the 1.5 miles in this game, is because that's the type of racing you're generally going to get. And of course, you've always got the settings for the AI that you can manipulate one way or another to get more close racing or more spread out. But overall, a ton of fun today, and that picked us up some very, very nice points. We got points in first and second stage, as well as a great finish. So as we get closer and closer to the playoffs, I get more and more excited about the possibilities for the future. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and stick around for more career mode gameplay in NASCAR Heat 5.